والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. With this, the completion of one of the burial of our father, our uncle. No doubt the Messenger ﷺ at this time, he used to say, seek forgiveness for your brother, فَإِنَّهُ الْآنَ يُسْأَلُ, for indeed he is now to be questioned. The Prophet ﷺ, from the supplications that he would make for the deceased, is that he would say, as occurs in the Quran, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, that indeed from Allah or to Allah we belong, and certainly to Him we shall return. And that statement, ikhwan, is one that we must reflect upon. Inna lillah, we belong to Allah, and indeed we shall return to Him. And he would say to the family of the deceased, أعظم الله أجركم. May Allah Azza wa Jal make your ajr and your reward great for this difficulty and this trial that you as a family are going through. أعظم الله أجركم. And then the Prophet ﷺ would likewise say, إن لله ما أخذ وله ما أعطى وكل شيء عنده لأجل مسمى فلتصبر ولتحتسب. That indeed to Allah is that which He has given and that which He takes, and everything that is with us for a determined time. So be patient and seek your reward with Allah Azza wa Jal. And there is no doubt that from the greatest of the things that are taken from us are our parents, those who Allah Azza wa Jal has made the means of taking care of us from the time that we were born. And even after we become adults, we find that our parents are still concerned with our welfare, are still concerned with taking care of us. Even though we are now adults, they still have the same concern for us that they have when we were children. And that then is from the greatest of the ni'am and blessings of Allah Azza wa Jalla upon the servant, that Allah blesses him with individuals that have that mura'ah and that desire to take care and look after the individual even after he becomes an adult. And no doubt our uncle, each and every one of you will know that he was from those who brought light to the masjid. He was from those who would put a smile upon the face of the musallin. All of you are familiar with that. A jovial man, a man that would make the musallin and those who prayed and worshipped within the masjid happy to see him and to hear the statements that would come from him. A man who I myself have known as long as I have known his sons. A man who was to me like an uncle. A man who was like a father. A man who, based upon that which had reached me, who even one of my families, he was from his khair, was that when he first came to the country, he took the father of one of my families on board and looked after him and gave him somewhere to stay for the period that he initially came to the country. And then they went on to become companions in the workplace for over 20 years. And subhanallah al-azim, both of them passed away within 6 months of one another. And those a'mal and those actions, perhaps some of his younger siblings were not even familiar with. For indeed, these were things that took place and occurred and came from him before some of us were even born. And then Allah Azza wa Jal blessed him to be guided to the Sunnah. A man who accepted the Sunnah, ikhwan, not like many individuals who are of age. And when the Sunnah reaches them, they reject and remain staunch upon the innovation that they were nurtured upon. La. A man who, when the Sunnah came to him, he accepted it. And we bury now, ikhwan, a man of Sunnah, a man of Salafiyah, a man who has left offspring who are upon the sunnah, ikhwan, and continue to spread and propagate the sunnah. No doubt, ikhwan, from his samarat and from his fruit is that he has left the type of children and offspring that he has left behind him. Individuals who the people of the dunya who speak the English language continue to benefit from. And that, no doubt, ikhwan, is a great samara from the samarat of our noble father and our noble uncle. And we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to raise us as individuals who have offsprings that carry out the type of actions that his offsprings carry out, and those who he left behind continue to carry out. Ayyuha al-ikhwa, there is no doubt that this time, ikhwan, is one that is difficult, but it is a tazkirah for each and every one of us. It is a reminder for each and every one of us. Allah Azza wa Jal had blessed our uncle with much more than the average lifespan. Prophet ﷺ informed us of the fact that the average lifespan is from 60 to 70 years, and few are those who go past that. Allah Azza wa Jal had blessed our uncle with much more than the average lifespan, and that is a blessing. For indeed the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he informed us that the best of you is man tala umru, is the one whose life is long, wa hasuna amalu, and whose actions are good. The one whose life is long and whose actions are good. So while we're here burying our uncle, and while we're here giving condolences to our beloved, his beloved offsprings, his sons, and the rest of his family, those who we know very well, and those who have been companions with us and to us for over 25 or more years. While we're here, ikhwan, reflecting upon this, let us likewise reflect upon ourselves and the fact that Allah Azza wa Jal, we do not know how long Allah Azza wa Jal has written for us. Will we have this lengthy life? And will we have a life wherein Allah Azza wa Jal preserves us upon the sunnah? That is what we ask Allah Azza wa Jal for. But the reality is none of us really knows. And thus, ikhwan, while we're here burying our uncle, let us reflect upon ourselves. For indeed, ayyuhal ikhwaz, as Hassan al-Basri rahimahullaah ta'ala, he mentioned, your life, ibn Adam, innaka ayyam, that indeed you are nothing but days. Every day that passes, a part of you diminishes. You lose a part of you. And these days, ikhwan, they are moving. And these days we're losing them rapidly. And so let us look towards what we have placed within them. And that we stop being individuals who are concerned with the affairs of others and concern ourselves with our outcome. What is it that Allah Azza wa Jal has written for me? How is it that I will be, or how will I be, and how will my reckoning be? How will my janazah be? Will I have the type of gathering that we see from the people of khair and uprightness and salah? Will I have individuals from the people of sunnah and tawheed making supplication for me, helping with my burial? Will I have from the individuals who I love, and I wish that Allah Azza wa Jal raises us together alongside the Nabiyyin wa Siddiqeen wa Shuhada wa Salihin, will I have them burying me? And if it is those individuals that you wish to carry that janazah out for you, then be an individual, ayyuhal ikhwa, that is with them during this life, that strives to aid and help them, not bring them down, that strives to support and strives to promote the sunnah and the people of sunnah, and those who they are with, and those who are from their companionship. That is what we ask Allah Azza wa Jal for. Indeed, ikhwan, we send condolences upon the family of our deceased, and we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make this affair easy for them, for indeed it is one that is difficult. Anyone that has lost a parent will know it is a time, ayyuhal ikhwa, that is not easy, because the soul becomes acquainted with one's father, the soul becomes acquainted with one's parent, with one's mother, And indeed we likewise remind the family of our uncle that from the greatest forms of birr, from the greatest forms of righteousness to one's parents, is the righteousness that is done after his death, after he has passed away. Inna abarra al-birri, as the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned, Inna abarra al-birri sillatul waladi ahla wuddi abi. That from the greatest form of righteousness to one's parents is that one bonds or connects the bonds of kinship of those, or the bonds of those who one's father used to love, those people who he was close to, those people who he used to love, that you continue to maintain those bonds of love and wood and khair. Likewise, to give sadaqah and to perform the righteous actions that are legislated and permitted to be performed on behalf of one's parents. Those are the things that we all should carry out on behalf of our Muslim parents. Ayyuha al-ikhwa. As we mentioned, ikhwan, it is a day that hurts our heart. For indeed, I knew our uncle as long as I knew my own father. As long as I knew my own father, I knew our uncle. And thus, ayyuha al-ikhwa, it is a day that is shadeed, a day that we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to forgive him, to overlook him, that Allah Azza wa Jal raises his station in Jannah, and that Allah Azza wa Jal blesses him to have nearness to the prophets and the messengers, and to be raised in the gathering of the Salihin. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa akhir da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Just a few minutes of dua, brothers, before you leave, inshallah. Prophet ﷺ used to say at the times like this, that it is now that your brother is being questioned, so ask Allah to give him sabat, to give him steadfastness, because the angels will come after you walk away and he hears your footsteps. The angels will come and they will ask him, Man Rabbuk, Ma Adinuk, Man Nabiyuk. So 3 questions are coming to him. So we ask that you make dua that Allah gives him sabat. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakumullahu khairan. And as far as condolences are concerned, for the Asian families who visit the homes, this is not from the Sunnah. There is no gathering place for condolences. So if you wish to give condolences, the family is here. Barakallahu feekum. And so the houses are not to be visited for gathering, for condolences. Barakallahu feekum. That is not from the Sunnah. Neither the Prophet ﷺ nor his Sahaba, they did that. So we ask that you respect our privacy and that you respect the Sunnah. Barakallahu feekum. And I thank our brother Abu Hakeem, Jazahullahu khaira, for this beautiful admonition that he has given us. Wa subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Abu Khadeejah, stay in the